Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
First and foremost, Rich is going to be the host of the 2015 US Open, but it's a true links golf course designed by Robert Trent Jones II. Breathtaking views of the Puget Sound, as well as the Olympic Mountains on a clear day.
Frank, you think of links golf, you think of Scotland, the home of golf. Links in the state of Washington?
That's right, and it is a true links too. Wide fairways. You're going to have a little bit of imagination today as well, because when this golf course plays firm and fast, you're going to play the bump and run, and you will need a ton of variety of shots around the greens.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just ride a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Now this putt from 23 feet. Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Now at the second and a medium length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left, rather long, skinny green here, well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right, and the natural contours of the land should kick that ball a little to the left.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
I'll tell you what, Phil the Thrill, Phil Mickelson could not have done it any better. What a bunker shot. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better. Even par currently.
+1 in the early going. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners, well, if you can call them corners. More like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. Frank, standing here on the 4th tee at Chambers Bay, you can see what this golf course is all about with those dunes on the left and all that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the 2 previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or 2. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
didn't go your way. It happens in golf, so just pick up and move on. Well, Frank here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Settles in over the putt. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Getting set to hit the tee shot here at the 6th at Chambers Bay. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
There's a nice dune down that left side that sort of gives you a good line that you can work the ball off here. But remember, this is a links golf course, so you don't try and fight Mother Nature because she'll always win. So just anything down the left, let that ball sort of kick its way back towards the middle of the fairway. A lengthy par 4, though, at 495.
Frank, what do you think about this approach here at the 6th?
Well, one of the few greens here that's protected on both sides. Rather narrow green, and you can see really what happens if you miss. Bunkers left and right. Plus there's a couple of ridges, so club selection is important here. That's an absolute beauty.
Chance to get it close here.
One of the things I think that's captivated the audience now with Rory McIlroy is he's doing things that we thought only one other player could do, and that's Tiger Woods. When you can streak fields in a major championship by nearly double figures, that's when you're in a class in your own. And I know that's stating the obvious.
He has a gear, Frank, that I don't think other players have. You might be rolling along at 95 miles per hour and you think you're moving, and you look to your right and you blink and go, who was that? Somebody just went by me, and he's doing 125 and making it look easy. This kid is really special. Boy, those will knock the wind out of your sails. Double bogey. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The 7th hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
A huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hammocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called Humpback. But then, a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. Boy, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a little tap in here. Been a rocky round. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. That was not a very good read right there. Lining this one up for par. Nope, didn't get it, didn't hit it.
It's no snack, though.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Just didn't have the speed. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Frank, the 9th hole is called Olympus. Feels as though like Russell Crowe should be standing on the tee, starring in some sort of a movie about the Greek gods.
I knew you'd go like Titans and that down here. But this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. This isn't for the Greek gods and the Titans of the world. They might think they are, but this is for you and me. This is for everybody. 36 handicappers. We can all play here.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
He'll be pleased with that. The approach shot is about 12 feet away. Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss. And a drop shot here at the 9th. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Well, let's hope he can regain some ground here on the back 9. Not his best performance so far today.
But what a good back 9 would do. If he can just even this round out with just 9 good holes, so much can happen. Yeah, that's fine.
Frank, safe to say he is not having his best day out here today. What kind of advice do you give a player who's struggling?
Well, you just almost got to forget what's happened. I know that's easier said than done. Yeah, just start a clean slate. Just hit a good shot. Just find a fairway. Don't try and get too specific. There's enough out there. The greens are big enough. Just find a piece of green. Find a piece of fairway. Maybe knock a couple of putts in. And then let it add up in your direction. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. This is a 13-footer.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Frank, this is just an embarrassing performance.
There's no crying in golf, Rich.
Well, here we are at the 11th. Frank, this is a brutally long par 4.
And a little bit blind, too. There's that big dune in the middle of the fairway, and it's sort of a bit daunting. You're not quite sure what's behind that. Well, what is behind that is actually fairway. And just carry it over there. That'll certainly shorten the hole up. And then from there, it's a little bit of a dogleg to the right. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
The 11th hole. Frank, what's ahead here?
This is another green that's sort of sloped. There's a lot of little slopes in this green here, plus the green angles from right to left. So it just depends on whether that second shot that lands. You've got to be well aware of what you're landing on. If you're landing on a downslope, it's going to kick forward. Obviously, an upslope, it's going to stop that much quicker.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. That's a head scratcher, no other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Tough hole has this now for double bogey. Ouch, that hurts, double bogey. Measuring 311 yards, the 12th Frank seems to offer an opportunity for a player to do something pretty dramatic here.
Yeah, it's called the Narrows. Really, it should be called the Temptation, because what player stands on a tee knowing he can reach and doesn't take up the gauntlet?
Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part. This is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Everything has gone wrong today. It just continues to be ugly. On to the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay. It's a par 4, and they call this one Eagle Eye.
Yeah, dogleg to the right, beefy par 4. You hit it down to one of the widest fairways on the golf course. And then up in front, if you look at the middle of the green, you're going to see one bunker. Needless to say, that's got to be avoided.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options, and you don't have to hit the ball first.
Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. And he's made it onto the green now.
It's that sneaky distance.
Oh, I thought he had that. You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch. 8-foot putt here. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. A disastrous triple bogey attempt here. Stroke that with authority. Thirteenth hole now. It's a dogleg right, par 4. Frank?
But at 534 yards, you need an eagle eye, which is the name of the hole, to find exactly where you want to hit this. Doglegs to the right. There is a fairway that's plenty wide to accept a good tee shot. And then from there on in, it's actually a relatively straightforward second shot, providing you can miss that bunker that's just short in the middle of the green.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. On the green, Frank, but might need a pair of binoculars to see the hole.
A long way from the band. You can barely hear the music from that far away.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Too bad, misses the putt and an opportunity. So they'll tap in. Been a rocky round. At last, Frank, a break from those long par fours. We just played 5 par fours in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree. It's one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Now to the 3-hole finishing stretch here at Chambers Bay, and we get it started with a relatively short par 4. It's a 423-yard hole, the 16th, Frank.
Bend slightly to the right. There's a huge bunker all the way down the right side that sort of starts, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards off the tee, goes all the way to the green. You go right, and then you realize why this hole is called beached.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Looking to splash this softly onto the green. So Frank out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Pretty good shot right there. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, too bad he gives one back. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3. You can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best.
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break, really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Here's to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, the bad news is he missed his target by quite a bit. The good news, he's still on the green. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again, you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, it's kind of amazing that Robert Trent Jones II, the designer of Chambers Bay, was able to find a golf course out of what was a gravel mine, a sand and gravel mine right next to the Puget Sound.
Yeah, and his routing, that's the order of the holes, is quite magnificent when you go around and look at the way the holes flow, the use of the views, the use of the terrain, the fact that no 2 holes on the golf course even sort of look the same. I think, kudos to Robert Trent Jones II.
Well, no other way to put it. That's just a horrible shot. You missed the green from 125 yards. Frank, you want to finish with one good swing here, the approach shot to the 18th hole.
I don't think there's a flat putt on this green, Rich. There's so many different sections. We said the course was like a maze. This 18th green can be like a maze. If you're on the right portion, then obviously that certainly helps. But there's so many different levels to this green.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. So the action is underway, and we'll take you out now to our featured golfer here at number 1. Getting ready to get the tournament started. Frank, first tee jitters?
Oh, everybody gets them. That's the beauty of it. If you don't, you shouldn't be playing this game. Just try and think nice and slow.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Headed for the bunker? Well, a bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker plays like.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
"13 feet away."
Unlucky for some, but very makeable.
And getting ready for the putt. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this tee, and we've seen a lot during the Players' Championship, but once again, you have to move that tee shot right to left. But be careful of those pines.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole.
Second shot.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
And it is not looking like a good lie. He'll need to be strong with this.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. Not a problem there, Rich.
18-footer. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. An ill-timed double bogey for him, but he has to make it first. Bit of a struggle early on at 3 over. Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass, relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm. This has to go in the hazard.
Needs to get up. Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. He's set up for his fourth shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. Getting set now over the putt. Once you hit double par, it is time to just pick up and move on. Count that as a triple bogey. Ouch. Back over now to the fourth. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par 5s to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the corner.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Frank, what are the problems posed with a fairway bunker shot?
He's got to hit it nearly perfect, Rich, because the bunker's going to magnify any mistake he makes. This is where you really have to focus on great contact. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And he makes it for a bogey here. Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4, though. Fairway somehow has to be...
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back. Say it's...
Frank, we've all been there. You hit one in the water, you're down. How do you regroup?
You've got to start from scratch again. Everybody's going to hit bad shots. That's just the nature of the game. But compounding mistakes, that's the problem that you want to avoid.
So in the water on the previous shot, now playing the 9th shot.
Well, when you talk about good players and great players, what's the difference? We've just seen it. Just one bad shot after the other.
EA Sports Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Frank here at the fourth. Not a long shot, but it can be tricky.
If you get a little ambitious when that flag's on the left side, you can spin it all the way back into the lake.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey.
Well, the fourth hole looks like it's going to claim another victim.
Something about this hole, it has not been kind. Bogey yesterday and staring at another one today. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass, long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're long or short hitter, the long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left, 320 run out.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Oh man!
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the sixth.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Wow, really off the mark. Missed the green here. Chance to get it close here. Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star from this group, someone along the lines of a Keegan Bradley?
Well, the golfer I'm watching right now, really, Rich, was considered a prodigy at the age of 2, and a lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for this player to come out, and I'm being one of those. Very impressed. The golf swing is excellent, touch, but even the competitive skill.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Seventh hole here at TPC Sawgrass generally plays into the wind, one of the stadium course's most difficult greens to hit, Frank.
It's a really weird tee shot here. You have those 3 little pop bunkers down the right, and then that bunker that meanders once again all the way down the left side. The bunker that's just slightly right of the canal. Very awkward angle off the tee.
Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side, the 583-yard par 5 ninth?
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2, but you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side. Just too much juicy grass between the ball and the club face. It's always going to come up short out of that sort of light.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch.
A very quick exit, miscut, not the only one there, but surprising.
The weekend now to regroup, just didn't hit many good shots.